What's up, y'all?
What's up with it? Yeah.
We are back with another episode. This is episode 4.
4.
So if you
We
made it this
moving.
far,
Yeah, we've been
welcome
moving
back.
right along for real.
We
Like,
have. We
try
sure
our
have.
best to touch on a lot of topics that we haven't touched on in the previous videos. So
Yeah, I hope y'all been enjoying us thus far.
and as you know, she got non-alcoholic wine.
Well, I'm actually just drinking orange juice.
Oh, there's orange juice today. Well,
Yeah.
let me get a Bel Air, the black one.
Okay. Ooh.
Dang. Hopefully, it don't bust on the carpet, cause that was
Yeah, if you saw our first video, you know.
So, what's the topics today, baby girl?
So today we are going to talk about just a few different things. Number one, brace yourselves. Don't hit the camera.
Oh.
Okay. That was a perfect one.
No.
But today we are going to talk about imposter syndrome, which is something that we kind of learned about from
Pastor Mike.
his brother. A sermon that we watched this past Sunday. It was actually Pastor Darius McClure. So if you know Pastor Mike, it's his brother. And so we watched it, and he was really spitting a lot of games. Yeah. So I'm like, we definitely
I think he got Pastor Mike.
He got him on that one.
Neck now.
I ain't gonna hold you, but we thought that it would be a good topic to kind of bring to the podcast. And I may even drop the link in the description.
Yeah,
if y'all want to go check it out for yourself.
To the sermon that we watched.
Yeah, to the sermon that we're going to speak on with you guys.
Yeah, and I got some notes too, so I'm going to read it off the phone.
So the first topic is going to be about imposter syndrome, what that does mentally, emotionally, and how that impacts relationships, marriages, your career, and just your overall mental health. And then he had a couple things that he wanted to touch on, but then we're also going to play this game.
Yeah. It's a couple card game. Couples Reconnect. So we're going to tag this below too in our Amazon store, so you can kind of purchase this.
So y'all should also check that out. Great for date nights. But anyway, so we can go ahead and just dive straight in. So the question was, what do you do when the loudest negative voice in your mind or in your head is not the enemy, but your enemy, telling you, that you're not enough, pretty much. So that is what they call imposter syndrome. Like I was saying, can show up in your marriages, ministries, classroom, your workspace, your career. The biggest thing about imposter syndrome is that you could have the resume, you could have the degrees, you could have the respect from other people, and still just have something in your head just telling you
that you're not enough.
Yeah, that you're not enough.
I think people just try to be too perfect,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like one of the main imposter syndromes is kind of being
like a perfectionist.
Yes, if you're one of those people that's like a perfectionist, you can be doing a good job, but it's kind of like it's never enough. It's never enough for you.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And part of that too is also just feeding off of like worldly opinions is why you kind of never feel that your accomplishments are enough, because you could have a very successful day or a very successful week or year, but then the moment you look at like what other people are doing, or someone says something, or somebody says something that maybe is not acknowledging what you've done and all the accomplishments you made, now you start to look at yourself like, that you're not enough. So I think it kind of comes from like outside opinions that you kind of start to form about yourself.
It's kind of like somebody with $1 million house, and you see that house now, you ain't satisfied with your $700,000 house.
Right. And then you start kind of just downplaying yourself, or even just the blessings that you already have based on those things.
So basically, what's for you is for you, So don't look at other people's situations and be like, oh, I want to be like them, or oh, I need that, or oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're downplaying yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
And also another big part of imposter syndrome is like not seeing ourselves the way that God sees us, because in all actuality, like, we are who God says we are, and He has already called us to be something,
yeah.
right? So every day we have to walk and move, um, like we know that, like we feel that and understand that, and that we're confident in that. And so there's a lot of things that God says that we are, but this is one of my favorites that God says, is that we are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath, and we are the lender and not the borrower. And that's very powerful because, like,
yeah.
we're the head and not the tail. So we're like,
The money.
yeah, we're the lenders.
We're not asking you for it.
Yeah, we're the lenders, not the borrowers. We're above and not beneath. We're the head and not the tail, because the head is up top, the tail is like behind. You kind of start to see yourself in the eyes of God. Like, I know that's obviously hard because we're not God. So, but it's just knowing what God says about us, what He's called us to be, and then moving in that belief.
And kind of another thing of imposter syndrome is you tend to overthink and overwork. You know.
Yeah.
You feel like working your 40 hours ain't enough. You need 80 because you need to get up that ladder faster. If you need to get 80 hours because I need that new car, I need that house. It's like, no, you're doing fine,
Or you're working 5 different jobs just to keep up with the Joneses because, you're not satisfied.
You're not satisfied with yourself.
Your first job or second
I think
job.
that kind of go all the way back to like self-love.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Once you kind of see, like, once you begin to really accept who God says we are,
you would tend to just do what He wants
that self-love and that self-confidence is going to be immovable because because you're accepting your identity through Christ and not through the world.
And I don't think God wants you working 80 hours a week. That's not what He called you.
Imposter syndrome is the gap between how others see you and how you see yourself.
Exactly.
So self-love is really important, but also just finding your identity through Christ, I feel like is really going to be life-changing, honestly.
The key foundation
to really having that self-love is just finding your identity through Christ, because that, like, it's just a different level of confidence that comes with that.
Like, it's kind of like having that one picture, but it look good to you, but you scared to post it because you think other people gonna be like, I don't like that, or look at her hair. So you take 5 or 6 different photos to kind of figure out which one you think the world would accept.
Yeah, and then you're trying to, like, do these different poses and put on these different filters.
You're trying to dig deep in your bag just to find that he gonna like this one, I promise you. So just like I said, just be fine with what God put you here to be. Don't try to be like the main quote I always tell people is, don't try to be other people. It's because they're already taken.
Yeah.
You're the only person.
And there's unique things about each and every one of us. So, you could be idolizing a whole nother person, and then you're not recognizing the gifts and callings and just the blessings that have already, been placed on your life, because each one of us holds something different and special that nobody else has,
And then on top of that, you might be idolizing somebody that's in debt, or somebody that's demonic, or somebody that beat his wife, somebody who cheats on his wife, somebody, so you never know who you idolize. And just because it looked good on the outside doesn't mean the inside is. Like, you can see somebody at the club, they look good, but when you go to their house after the club, will that house still look good as the person that came outside tonight? Probably not.
No. And another thing too is, like, when you're struggling with imposter syndrome, our biggest enemy is actually not the enemy, which enemy meaning the devil. Because a lot of things are what we're calling the devil or the enemy is really ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's actually the decisions that we're making. So the things that we're like, oh, man, the devil busy or the devil working, but it's like you're not realizing that the decision you made is actually what got you in that situation in the first place. So it's like,
I mean, the devil only follow people who's doing wrong.
I mean, not always
I
though,
mean,
because
but he'll follow a good person until he mess, hoping that he mess up.
well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
because
saying?
the devil moves on assignments and stuff. So honestly, I think it's almost the opposite in some sense because when you have somebody that's just always doing wrong or just on the wrong path, the devil ain't really worried about him because
He already got
he
him.
already, yeah, he already
That's my
got him.
that's nephew.
Yeah.
That's Neff. You know what
Who
I'm
he's
saying? So
after
yeah,
is the ones who are
doing
following
good.
Christ and are on that right track because he's trying to pull as many people as he can away from Christ before his time is up. So, I mean, obviously,
I mean, that's kind of why they say the devil come after every blessing.
yeah, because he's trying to test you and trying to, get you to kind of renege. And a lot of times people don't realize we actually are the main ones that end up tricking ourselves out of our own blessings. And that
Mm-hmm.
goes back again to what Pastor McClure was talking about because we all go through seasons and we all go through cycles. And seasons happen when time changes or things changes and we change with it. A
Mm-hmm.
cycle is when time is changing, time is moving, but we're staying the same.
Season, it's a whole new season,
Yeah.
but we the same person.
Yep. Every decision that we make, it births either a cycle or a season. So with
Exactly.
every decision that you make is like pretty much, are you going to keep moving forward or are you going to keep, or is time going to
Or
keep
time gonna
moving
move without you.
you? Exactly. And you're going to keep repeating the cycle. And so,
A lot of times, time will move without you.
yeah. And sometimes we are birthed in cycles because we are making decisions out of that imposter syndrome. Being able to recognize, you know, when God's calling you to higher places. And he was also saying that line between how you see yourself and how others see you. So if you're
Yeah.
making decisions based off of imposter syndrome, then you're essentially making decisions based off how you see yourself. An example would be maybe you don't have a lot of self confidence or self love, so you keep going back to that toxic relationship or that
Mm-hmm.
toxic man or woman that you really shouldn't be with. There's no growth there. The relationship is dead. He's abusive. He's a cheater, narcissist, or, vice versa. Women can be that too. So, regardless, you keep going back to that relationship because you don't have that enough self love to walk
Mm-hmm.
away. You're going to keep repeating that cycle. Or, example of repeating a cycle could be maybe you're not recognizing how gifted you are or crafted you are in your career, which is causing you to doubt yourself. So then you keep kind of procrastinating on things that God's called you to do in your career that could actually be getting you to, higher places because
Mm-hmm.
you're operating in that imposter syndrome, that self doubt, instead of just believing, like, this is what I've been called to do. I'm amazing at it. I'm going to go hard every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
those
mean,
are a
a
couple of
lot of
things.
people got a lot of people got dreams and goals that they're scared to even pursue because of what somebody else gonna think. You know what I'm saying? It's kind
Yeah.
of like when we was about to start the podcast. I'm like, man, I already know people gonna have their little opinions and little thoughts, but it's like if we don't ever start, we will never get nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like just believe in yourself and
Yeah.
use that content. Go
Right.
for them goals. Like,
Yeah.
don't look at the outside. Kind of look at how you
Yeah.
see yourself.
I think I've been struggling a little bit with that too in like real estate because like I've done amazing things like early on in my career. But I feel like in the middle of my career, like where I'm at now, sometimes I do like doubt myself, like, oh, what if this contract doesn't work out? Or, kind of scared to post the content just because, it has to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Because, going off of like how a lot of other realtors do their real estate content.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like, then I'm not posting a lot, because I'm worried about those things or just like not doing the open houses, like just being afraid of doing those, which the open houses, like, yeah, they're hit or miss, but it's really just about the experience and just being up and doing
Putting in
something.
that work.
Yeah, doing something in your
Mm-hmm.
career, going to those meetings just because a lot of people in my office are like older. I'm probably like the youngest person. Maybe one, I think there's like another young girl that joined, but I'm probably like one of the youngest like out in the entire office, so it's kind of like not intimidating, but at times I just feel like I don't really fit in, um, like just with the, I don't know what you would call it, but so then I'm like
traditional.
Yeah, so then I'm just
the traditional vibe.
Yeah,
being
so then
such a modern person.
Yeah, and just not really feeling like I fit in that setting. So then I'm not going in the office, and I'm missing out on the team meetings, and it's
see like some reassurance I'll tell somebody is to just look in the mirror and just be like, I'm her. I'm him.
Yeah, and it's like
it's
that,
like,
but that's the problem with imposter syndrome. It's like you can
don't
feel it,
yeah.
you know it, but then you're fighting against all these other things in your mind.
I do the same thing with when I'm cutting hair. It's like I know I'm one of the best, but it's like I don't really post like other people because it's like, man,
you could really be maxing. Like you could be doing way more.
Maximize your potential. Yeah. Imposter syndrome will make you, not be able
minimize to yourself.
Yeah, you won't be able to maximize your potential. Because
you're living in doubt.
You're just so scared.
Yeah,
it's like, what you scared for? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's already ours, and so, but that's exactly where the devil wants to get us sometimes. Because if he can instill that imposter syndrome, that doubt, and keep us running from our identity, then we subconsciously delay our own progress. And he don't even got to do nothing. All he got to do is make us think we're not capable, and he already won. Just like that. And I'm struggling with it in my career. Some people struggle with it in their marriage, not feeling like they're a good enough wife or a good enough husband. Maybe they wish they could provide more. Maybe they don't feel like they're beautiful enough or fit enough or handsome enough or have.
But I feel like another thing. I feel like if you lacking somewhere else, you should be able to put it in something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was lacking financially, I'll do more at home. If I was lacking, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like.
But sometimes when you're in that imposter syndrome, like, and you're lacking in one area, that one area, it shuts you down.
That's the only thing you think about.
Yeah, it shuts you down.
You be like, man,
I wish I could,
It's like, man, I got money, but my credit ain't no good.
Yeah, and right.
And that's the same. Every day it's like, man, I got the bag.
Yeah. So that, I feel like, was just like, man, that just hit so home. I felt like we just had to share that.
Yeah, we have to share that.
So really, long story short, is just like, break those cycles. You know what I'm saying? Start operating and moving in seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Get out that self-doubt. Understand who God has called you to be. We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. We are the lenders and not the borrowers.
And then reassure yourself too. Like, talk to yourself.
Yeah, every morning when you wake up,
like,
get in the mirror.
I'm him, I'm her.
I'm
whatever
exactly
you gotta do,
in everything that God has called me to be.
Every day.
I am going to move like that every day. It's hard because even I'm on here saying this and I need to do it.
Even when people mad, just smile in their face. Yeah. Because, hey, God wanted me to be happy today, and that's what I'm going to be.
Yep. And just don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to keep up with
the Joneses got loanses.
So that's really the main spill, like what I wanted to share as far as imposter syndrome. So there was a couple things.
That was a great topic.
Yeah. Oh man.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. My back hurts a little bit. I went to Olive Garden that Friday with my mom and my auntie, and that chair messed me up, man. Olive Garden, y'all need to get some better cushions.
I'm gonna open up the first restaurant with massage chairs.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Just imagine you eating and you in the motherfucking massage chair hitting.
Language.
Okay, just imagine you in a massage chair and you eating, just hitting 120 spots.
Man, I don't even know if I would eat.
Okay. Back to imposter syndrome before we get off into these cards right here. I want to give out a few like advice or tips on a couple of different ways to overcome imposter syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Rethink it and rename it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, recognize it and name it. So when you recognize imposter syndrome,
like figure out exactly where you're struggling at. Okay, right.
And like put it to the forefront.
Call it out.
Call it out.
Call it out.
Okay, that's my imposter syndrome right there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to work on this.
Exactly.
I need to work on that. This is where I'm doubting myself. This is where I'm.
Because like awareness is like the first step.
Absolutely. Because if you don't know what you're struggling with, how you're gonna call it out, how you're gonna
So
fix
when
it.
I'm not good enough thoughts creep in your mind, just shut it down.
But not only shut it down, because that's not gonna really do anything. Figure out where it's coming from.
Oh, exactly.
Why am I not feeling like I'm good enough?
It might be the person you with telling you you're not good enough.
That
and
it
then you
could
sitting there
be.
thinking like, maybe I'm not good enough.
It could be the person you're with. It could be things you're seeing on social media. It could be things you've dealt in your childhood. Figure it out.
Keep a journal, like write it in the journal.
Oh yes, a
Like,
thousand times yes. I have a journal. Seriously,
yeah, a
I
journal.
have a journal that I've been using for
for a
like the
long
last.
time.
Yeah,
I say about what, 3 years now you've been
I would say
using?
about 2, because I
About
bought
2.
it twice. It's 12-week journal. No, yeah, 12 weeks. But a couple times I dragged it out because I didn't want to finish it so bad. But I've been using it for about 2 years. I bought it a few times, the same exact one, and I love it so much. I might even drop the link to that one in here. It's downstairs. I'm not gonna go grab it, but
A journal
it's
would be good
amazing.
for, like, writing down all your accomplishments, writing
Yeah,
down like
or just even your future goals.
your
That
future,
way, months later, you
because
can
they
look back and see
exactly
the prayers
because they
that
do
God
say
answered.
like it's always a dream until you write it down.
Yeah,
Exactly how I do a lot of stuff. Like
yeah,
when I came up with the design for this, it's like
yeah. He sketched it out on a
everything. My
notebook.
barbershop, I
Yeah.
sketched it out. The
Hmm.
house, when we got it, I sketched it out to figure out, okay,
Where you gonna
this
put
what I want.
everything?
Because if you ain't got a map, it's kind of like how you gonna get there.
True. Or just it's just something to like remind yourself, like, and when you're writing it out, it feels a lot better because a lot of stuff is just in our minds. So when we're just thinking of
It's
things,
not a
it kind of
dream.
just gets
That's what I'm
cluttered,
saying. It's not a
and it
dream.
just becomes a back thought.
It's gonna
When
be a
you're
dream.
writing it out, you're kind of setting intention a little bit, like, okay, this is where we're at, this is where I'm trying to be, and then you can look at it months or weeks or days later down the line and look back. I'm like, dang, these things that I actually wrote down, this is what has happened since. And that's another reason why I love the journal, because a lot of things that I journaled about even last year was things about, like, getting into a healthy marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just things in my career, peace in our home, just overall good health for the family, um,
Good healthy habits.
pregnancy, but not just pregnancy, like a baby girl and all those things. And not saying like, oh, if you write it down and it's just gonna
No,
happen, because it's
I
not a
think,
genie
but
thing.
how I think of it, like it's either dreams or goals.
Right.
Dreams is in your head, goals is on this paper right in front of you that you need to mark off every time you reach that milestone. It's like, okay, we did that. Okay,
Yeah.
we did that. If you're thinking it in your head, it would never happen.
Yeah. And another thing too is like that I've used it for is like writing out prayers. So like on the first page where it's just like blank, and on the ending page where it's just blank, I've used those pages for just like days where I just feel like writing down prayers. Like sometimes writing down prayers is even more powerful than saying them out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll put the date up top, and then I'll put my prayer. And like a lot of things that I've wrote in prayers with dates have also like come to pass too. So like that's another great thing about journaling too, is just seeing, like, keeping track of your prayers and seeing how they've been answered. Just so you can continue to be reminded of, like, God's been working. There is
Mm-hmm.
things to be thankful for. I have received these blessings. So when you're kind
Exactly.
of getting sidetracked and find yourself kind of being ungrateful, is another way to like look back and be like, okay, hold on, I'm very
Mm-hmm.
blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The thing too is like writing out your dreams. That's another thing my friend Alexis told me about. Because sometimes like God can send us messages through our dreams, but also like that's another way too that the enemy does try to attack us, is in our dreams. So sometimes, and a lot of times, you forget your dreams. Like when you first wake up, you kind of remember it, right? But then as the day goes on or the weeks pass, you kind of forget.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another way that the enemy can kind of get in our head too. Is like in some dreams they are assignments that we could subconsciously be coming into agreement with if we don't kind of rebuke those things or pray those things off when we're in our dreams. Like if you're dealing with succubus or incubus spirits, look it up if you don't know, but it's pretty much you're
A
having,
sex demon.
yeah,
A,
sex
a
demons, and
demonic.
you're having dreams of
You
sex.
having wet dreams. You wake up and there's nut everywhere.
All right,
I'm
nobody
just
say all
saying.
that, but yes, when you're having dreams of having sex, a lot of times the person or whoever you're having
Just
sex with
spirits.
in the dream is actually a spirit, and you need to pray that off because that's actually witchcraft. Honestly,
Oh, and I was
that
about to
eating,
exactly.
seeing insects,
I was,
dogs,
and I was gonna
rats,
touch on
snakes.
another topic. My boy Yada was talking about Yada awakening when he was saying like unhealthy sex can be kind of like
Yeah, because you're
as far as
coming. Yeah,
unclean.
absolutely.
Well, unclean sex. Meaning he's not eating right. His emotions is off. He's not. You know what I'm saying? You don't want.
Right,
You
just
want
spiritually in
exactly.
not out of order. Like, and also another thing to think about too is like that's another great talk because a lot of people don't realize too that like sex is very spiritual. So, and you have to be careful with who you're laying down with because you can, when you're having sex, you come into agreement with whatever that person has on them. So if
I'm
that
willing to accept anything you got, and that you about to give me. That's what
that's
basically.
pretty much what it's saying. But so if that man, let's say that man is dealing with three other women, right? When you have sex with him, especially unprotected, you're coming into agreement with whatever he's carrying, but also whatever those other three women are carrying, and whatever those three women that are carrying are.
Other people are carrying.
Yes, because those other three women could also be sleeping with other men. So now, just by having sex with that one guy, you done picked up 10, 12 different spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wonder why you're so addicted and drawn, you can't get out of it. Because once you get like
You're gonna be
attached
two
to
or three
that,
different
it's
persons.
and they call it a soul tie. Yeah, and
And
you're
energies travel too.
yeah,
It's kind of like whatever. Like if the dude was messing with you when he was mad, you're gonna be mad.
yeah, you're gonna wake now you're waking up
Right.
angry.
Exactly.
Now you're waking up
You got three different. You're
personalities.
three different
Yeah.
you're three different people like a Gemini.
We ain't going there because we don't
Okay.
believe in
We don't believe.
zodiacs
Yeah, we don't believe
and
in zodiac.
that.
But they do say like.
Anywho, so yes, you're operating in all these different personalities. Um, now you're angry and irritable all of a sudden. You're having anxiety. Now you're having suicidal thoughts all of a sudden. You're depressed. You're just super all over the place. Like a lot of times, after having sex with somebody that's carrying all that, it's now attached to you, and that's a lot of times why women or men can't stop messing with that person. Like the sex might not even be all of that.
Them
it just
too much
it's just
bacteria.
and then but one of the number one signs too that you'll notice like if if there's something attached to that person sexually that you just free yourself from, it's like immediately after having sex with them or after you have sex with them, now all of a sudden you having issues down there. And it may not be a
I mean,
STD,
yeah, but
but
kind of.
your pH is thrown off.
But honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Like a lot of times, people have, sex with somebody or something like that, and it just be their mind. Knowing like, okay, like for real, a lot of dudes could probably think the same. Like they'll mess with a girl, then when they go pee, they be like, "Dang, did she burn me?" It's your intrusive
Nah,
thoughts.
like
Like,
a woman, when you're a woman, it's not in your mind. You're gonna know if you
but
stay
I'm
down
talking about
there. Like,
with
yeah. So what you
that
mean?
back air.
Yeah. So I'm saying like if you all of a sudden you got BV or now you got a yeast infection or something. I'm not talking about like, I mean obviously
I mean,
say
that's
a
just nasty.
STD. Yes, but I'm just saying like your person when y'all if it's your person and
You'll
y'all
know.
have sex
You'll
like
know.
it's not gonna be all that like I don't be getting no BV and stuff
I
when I
mean, you're not supposed to. You're not messing with an untoxic person.
right,
I
but
don't have
usually that's
bacteria infections and stuff like that. Like
right. But I'm saying somebody that
clear spirit.
right. So that's one of the main things you're gonna notice like when you lay down with somebody like how does your body respond to them? That's gonna tell you. And if you
Mm-hmm.
ignore the signs, that's cool. That's on you. Get ready
Right.
for what comes with it. But
A lot of people do.
yeah. So that's really enough
Okay,
on that.
so let's get into this card game. So this card game is couple reconnect right here. and it's by Dr. Tanya. Well, anyway, it's basically 400 conversation starters. So, I'll give you 400 cards and give you different conversations, different topics to talk about. So, let's go ahead and dig in.
And you pull two, I pull two. That we're going to answer together.
Okay, I pulled a card, and this category is friendships and social circles. Is how can we be more socially active as a couple? Different ways to communicate.
Well, I say this socially. Is number one.
Oh right yeah, here. This is perfect.
This is perfect for
this
us.
Is like, man.
The podcast.
This is like
this
therapy.
Is like our therapy. Yeah. So I feel like this is like our number one way to be socially active because we're talking about so many different things together.
And then I think we'd be socially active a lot through prayer too.
Oh yeah.
Because you set your
That's
prayer.
A good one.
You set your prayer alarms for what, 2 p.m., 7 p.m.?
Yeah, I've been doing that for a minute.
Yeah, we've been doing that for like 2 years.
Yeah, so that's another thing that helped too, like before we got married.
And then it's not like you pray every time. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I make sure I got to write different prayers in my journal to make sure that.
That's important. Like men praying is very, very important. I mean, women, obviously, yes. Because I think women, we're like pray without ceasing type. So that's very important. But like the men, when the men pray, it's like
if you got a man that's praying,
it's a whole different shift because
a whole different vibe.
Enemy, I mean, obviously the enemy hates marriage, but the number one target in a marriage is most often the husband.
He's the easiest
because he's the head of the home. So if he can tear down the head of the household, he can tear down the whole family. So
we are heads, not tails.
Yeah.
I hate to say it now. Okay, now.
So the men being the head is like very important because, you know, he leads the family. So if the leader ain't leading, then it's already dysfunction.
If the leader ain't leading, the house led wrong.
Yeah, and it's gonna crumble.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love that you do that because that's very important. Like a man praying over his family is like so important.
Man, that's just. God do amazing things.
Yeah. Cheers to that. Yeah, that before we got married, like you didn't really used to like. I remember it used to be like kind of uncomfortable for you to pray.
It ain't even that. It's like I feel like everybody had their own relationship with God.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like our relationships didn't cross with each other. Now it's like we pray together.
Yeah.
But at first, like I'm like an in-head prayer. You know, when you think about prayer.
So you praying out loud was like kind of like you were like shy or something.
That's a big thing.
Like I wouldn't say it as you were like.
I mean, I always
scared.
been shy my whole life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not scared, but kind of like imposter syndrome, scared what other people would think.
Yeah, but I'm like, babe.
Knowing I got it in me, it's just like bringing it out was the hard part.
But I broke down that barrier, just like.
Oh yeah, the wall is down.
Yeah.
Trump, man, the wall is done. No more.
But that's another thing too. Is like, you know, I think a lot of people fear prayer because they feel like it has to be perfect. It has to be a certain way. So then you kind of get so caught up in trying to perfect it or feel like it needs to be perfect that you just end up not doing it at all.
What it is, a lot of people do a lot of sinning all day to where I feel like that'd be wrong if I prayed. It's kind of like,
but the thing is,
it's kind of like I'm drunk, but I don't want to pray because I done been drinking.
But the thing is, God already knows. He knew we was gonna get drunk before we got drunk. He knows we're drunk, so it's like you can't run from him.
So, do you think people should pray during the middle of a sin? I mean, I'm just saying. Like, say, if you have been drinking and driving and you get pulled over, most people be like, God, if you get me through this night, I'll never drink again.
And be drunk the next morning. But I mean, I would say yeah, because I could never say not to pray. Yeah. Because pray honestly, no like what. Even praying through sinning, it's not, and that's another thing I've seen somebody share today. It's not like, we have to understand we can't get into the habit of like trying to run from sin and because if we try to fix our sin ourselves, it's not gonna work. What fixes our sin is literally turning to God and changing our habits, of course, but like continuing to turn to God even when we're sinning. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately we continue to turn to him, He's going to move things through us that's going to bring us out of sin, honestly. Childhood.
Okay.
Ooh. What behavior patterns did you pick up while growing up that you do not wish to model for our children?
Man.
He could write a book, huh?
Boy. Like, I think, man. I used to be real bad at like taking accountability for a lot of stuff. You know, I used to blame everybody for stuff I did that impacted, our family or our life. So I used to throw canned goods at people. I used to try to stab up people. I used to do a lot. So it's kind of like if I would have went like to anger management when I noticed I had those type of problems, I don't think I would have been.
Honestly, sometimes there's certain things you got to go through that shape you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you learn from it, and it brings you to where you are now. Like, we got to bump our heads. We got to go through certain phases to kind of get to where we are now. But so you would say anger.
Hanging with the wrong crowds, like
So kind
always.
of being a follower.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, not necessarily because I was leading too. So it's like kind of like just being. I would say like necessarily like picking the wrong friends. Not
Okay.
necessarily that the friends I was with was the wrong friends, but us as friends can be around other groups of friends. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Or going to house parties and going to stuff that's detrimental to your lifestyle if you want to do better. So
Okay.
and talking back, like I talk back a lot. So it's kind of like I was used to disrespect, but demand respect from others, which was like one of my biggest.
Narcissism, a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. How can let me see? Is this the one? Here, I'll put that back there since we're not gonna ask that many. So let me pick you up.
You got one more left.
It's the one I want. Okay, the question I got is trust and respect. What are some mistakes you made in the process of parenting?
I think I'm too lenient about things at times. Maybe I'm not strict enough, which kind of enables certain behavior. Um, so I think I
Only
could have
mis-
got that
I
early
would say
on.
the only mistake I kind of made in the process of parenting, I would say for me is like prior to having kids was like pursue my dreams to where I was financially stable. That way I can spend more time with my kids instead of just like always being on the money, on the go, trying to make sure everybody got money when in reality, like I wish I had time and money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Which
you
is,
got started early. You was young with your first one. It was
yeah.
like 19 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of, and then shortly after that, it just came rolling
Yeah,
in.
so
So
it's kind of like I wish I would have just, and I regret that I had a kid at 19 and
you mean
nothing,
just
but
take
it
your
just,
time to
yeah,
be
I wish I would have reached my goals faster.
okay, and kind of had them set
And
up.
had kind of had them set up before that way I can instill them in all the perfect practices
Yeah,
like
because
growing
it's
up.
like now
It's like now it's
you're
like
set, but then they're
yeah
like
now it's
older.
set, but yeah
Yeah,
it's like I missed the key points of their life
was
trying
the
to chase
early
a bag
stages.
to make sure they got shoes and clothes and food. It's like nah, I could have taught them a lot more than what I did. So
Yeah,
don't rush into it, but don't wait too long because you don't want to
yeah.
be 40. You don't want to be 40 years old with a 3-year old. For real.
Share about a minor loss that you have experienced in your life, and now share how you have grown from that experience as a person.
I would say my minor loss or major loss was when I lost my pops and my little brother, which is today
Happy
is his
birthday.
birthday. So I got the
Yeah.
chain on um, to represent that. And I say that is literally like my major loss in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, because pops taught me everything, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And he broke it like we said too in the last video. Like he had hurt his back at 19, so he was never able to work. So I had to kind of.
But he still hustled.
Yeah, so he hustled. He took older people to church and stuff and the grocery store, and like if you from Danville, you know Randy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looked out for the community. We smashed cans together, 10 cent, 10 cent a pound. You know what I'm saying? We had the station wagon. We had, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that was my that was a major loss, and it reflected like in a major way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now it kind of made me be the person I am today. Like the hustle mentality, sticking through it because I know it's greater. It gets greater later.
Yeah.
And I know
and they're so proud of you.
Exactly.
They
so
are.
it's kind of like that's a major loss.
Yeah.
Which I mean, a lot of major losses. Honestly, you will never be able to get over.
I mean, you haven't gotten over it, but it's
a major loss that got me up a major hurdle.
Yeah.
Because I was fighting demons, like as far as like within myself. Like, so I feel like with them passing away, it's like now it's time to like find yourself. Yeah. Watching you, it's kind of like having imposter syndrome to them because it's kind of like
you just trying to make them proud.
I want to be perfect to them.
Yeah.
And they feel like I'm not there, so it's like that's the kind of be.
Oh, babe, you more than there.
Yes,
I already know. If they were here right now, they would be so proud of you, babe.
Yes, but I know I got like my ceiling is so high for myself.
But again,
I can jump on a trampoline and feel like I'm not there yet.
But that goes to what we're talking about. You gotta appreciate the small wins.
And
where we are right now to even get higher.
For sure.
So you're doing amazing, and they're happy for you. I know if they were here, they'd be so happy for you. Like you've done a whole shift. Like they probably wouldn't even be like, "Wow, Los is doing this. Wow, Los did that. Los is, married. Wow." Like they would. Trust me. There's plenty that you have done for them to be proud of you. They're more than proud, babe.
Appreciate that, babe.
Yeah. And I do wish I could have got to meet them. Do you think they would have loved me?
Oh yeah,
I think they would have loved me.
Oh yeah, they would have loved you. You, Kyla, and everybody. So it's like,
well, we just gotta keep making them proud, babe.
Oh yeah, gotta keep going. So, yeah. Share about your minor loss that you experienced in your life, and then share how you have grown from that experience as a person.
My minor, it was actually major, but it happened during my childhood. I would say was like my parents divorcing early on. It's probably around Kylan's age, but I remember a lot of it because I've always been very wise. I've always had great memory, so I remember a lot of it. And that divorce was very like traumatic for me. Like that divorce is something that probably dragged out for like majority of my childhood, just like the way my mom behaved during and after it. Not being able to like talk to my dad, not being able to, have those memories of like a two-parent household. Seeing my mom bringing like other men around us that like were also like traumatic part of my childhood, just the way they like would treat us or her and things like that. So like for a long time I had a lot of anger like towards my mom, and towards my dad too, because during the divorce I was being fed like a lot of lies about my dad that I actually believed to be true from my aunts and my mom's friends and my mom, and like just hearing them like say all these bad things about him all the time, where I actually started to believe them. And it kind of made me angry because, I'm like, why, this is my dad. Why would he do these things? Why? And then the anger towards my mom of like keeping him away, and like he would get his phone so we could talk to him, and she would hide the phones, or like, let us come see him. But then when we would go with him, I remember one time we came to Texas for spring break, and this was like the first time I got to see my dad in like 6 years. And she called the dang FBI to my big mama's house and told them that he kidnapped us.
Oh man.
So they came like swarming in her house. They had guns out and everything, and it was just like very traumatic because I was obviously scared. I was a kid, like, and so yeah, just like dealing with that type of stuff, just brought a lot of trauma and anger, um, and I missed out on a lot of like the family stuff growing up, like, having that dad and mom to like share those experiences with, and then just seeing all these other men come and go, and
So it's
yeah, so that was hard. Now I think, and then as I became an adult, obviously I got to see things for the truth and what they really were, and that made me angry, realizing that I was lied to most of my childhood.
So do you feel like they should have stayed together in the marriage for the
No,
kids, even if they was
no,
unhappy?
no. I think divorcing was a good thing for them because, like I said, this was very toxic, and I think, thankfully, not thankfully, most of the trauma that I experienced was like the after effect, and I think it probably would have been more traumatizing being in it than just trying to heal from it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
you think it was easier in your life because you was younger versus if you would have been older?
not really, because like I said, it initially happened when I was younger, but it carried for years.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
started when I was 4,
Kind of lingered
and
through.
and it happened all the way up to like I was 18 pretty much. It helped me see like what I didn't want in a family and in a marriage and a relationship, and what I didn't want for my kids. And I knew that um I had to like break that cycle. Like I didn't want any of my kids to like deal with like divorce or like a breakup or like not having their mom and dad in the house, or like seeing me go through like a divorce, or just, yeah. I think it helped me like understand like, okay, my
His
life is,
way,
my life is
ways.
going to be different than what my life, like what my childhood was.
Okay.
So that helped me.
Okay. To conclude this, if you had 60 seconds to give our audience some advice, what
I
would
think
it
we
be?
just gave him an hour of advice.
What is that? Ample amount.
I don't, shoot, if I give y'all anything else, I'm gonna spoil the rest of
Matter
the
of fact,
season.
we will give you some more advice. We're gonna say that for episode 5.
5.
That way, if you're still watching though, like, y'all want anything from the grocery store? Hey, y'all don't need anything, cause man.
Do this just to see if y'all really was watching. If you got to the end and finished this whole video, leave a green heart in the comment.
Yeah, that's exactly how
That's
we're
how I'm gonna know if y'all
And you know
watched
what's
it.
crazy? That's my brother's favorite color and his
This
birthday.
is today.
Green hearts.
And we're wearing green. Okay.
So
See, look,
if you watched it to the end, get some green hearts, man. Tell my brother happy birthday, cause we might not release this video on September 1st, but we did record on September 1st. So
Yeah.
drop some green hearts, and we gone.
See y'all next week.
Every Friday at 9
Every Friday.
p.m. we air an episode, and we're gonna be consistent. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Subscribe,
like, just
like,
meet us
comment.
here. Don't
Yeah.
beat us here.
Okay.
See
Stay
ya.
blessed.